Who's ready? Who's ready? Who's ready for some boom, baby, boom, rise and shine? It's that Finland summertime. Your boy Marquis Saint is in it to win it, and I am living it. That's right. I've been up since about 4 o'clock this morning with the roommate, and figured it was a little too early to be doing any morning motivation, if you know what I'm saying. But now the sun has risen, and the new topic comes from the day is, did you mean it? Oh, so cool. You can see the reflection on the street. Did you mean it when you say you wanted it? Did you mean it when you said you hated it? And did you mean it when you said you'll do anything for it? This is that question this morning. It's going to be a gut check. It's what we do around here at Saints Addiction. We're on a mission. Boom, baby, boom. Like, share, subscribe. Let's go. So, legging out down here at the Weed Club. Make sure you join Weed Club. I got my joint already rolled and wanted to smoke with you this morning. I'm getting phone calls inundated with the flyer in an hour or shirt in an hour or whatever else we got going on. Lots of things are popping and little things are stopping because I won't allow them to. You know, I'm like not worried about homelessness because my grand ambitions are so much higher that it elevates me above what is happening. It's the same effect of being in your own world in prison, or like Nelson Mandela, and he would get in there and he was treating all the security guards and the officers all appropriately and with respect, so they started treating him appropriately with respect, so it didn't feel like an inmate security guard situation. He elevated his game. He brought himself up to that level, and this is why I said, do you mean it? Do you mean it when you say you're going to quit smoking cigarettes? Do you mean it when you say you're going to stop abusing your children? Do you mean it when you say you're going to quit anger? And that's when it counts. It counts on the inside. We keep doing the work. I keep talking about this business intersect.ai, how it's like an embryo, like there's eyeball forming and an arm forming, and now we're doing emails and web scraping and social media posting, and it just keeps morphing and developing because that's what we do. We have morphed and developed into somebody that takes in information, and if we say, oh man, it's not going to work out, guess what's not going to fucking happen? I got news for you, buddy. It's exactly like that. And the way you talk to yourself and the way you believe and the way that you speak on the inside will transpire, try doing that without a joint in your mouth, transpire on the outside. We just not willing to risk it. And that's what I started to do. I could hear the guy down here coughing, and I was just like, I don't want to live on a balcony surrounded by my cigarettes and my addictions. I want to live on the top floor loving my life in the forest. It's a choice, but most of us don't mean it when we say it. We don't mean to say, oh, I'm always positive. Can't wait to be angry. Oh, I love my life. Can't wait to say fuck my life. I want to change, but not do anything to change. This is all lip service with the joint in my mouth. I want to be of service. I don't want lip service. I want my lips to be actually on the lips. You know what I'm saying? And it's one of those things where you got to gut check yourself. You got to want it bad enough. And in that wanting is when you get to gut check yourself to say, I want my actions to be stronger than my words. I want to be powerful instead of limited. I want to be expansive instead of contracting. How many times when we were kids did we hurt somebody and say we didn't mean it? I didn't mean it, but you said it. You said I could come stay. Yeah, but I meant visit, not stay. But use the word stay. It switches up every day. I want to be strong. I'm a strong man. Okay, now it's time to quit drinking. Where'd the strong man go? Or how about the girls? I don't need a man, but always asking for a man. Do you mean what you say, or you're just saying it? Does it come out of you? Does it process, or is it just all emotionality and you go from trigger, and it ends up where it lands? Shake the dice, wherever it lands, or are you actually a shooter? My old roommate, Kirby, had a fake table, and he used to practice his craps, how he actually threw the dice, like an actual technique. Most people are just emotional. They have no technique. They're just like, hey, I feel this way, so it's going to be this way. Then your emotions lead you down a path you didn't want to end up in. Did you mean what you say? They probably don't. You probably didn't. You probably said it while you were hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. The HALT system, right? Odds are, if you're any four of those things, you weren't processing, right? You were just feeling, and then we're all over the place. We're like, our feelings go all over the place, especially with social media. And then you go, oh, I was happy, oh, I was crying, oh, I was happy, oh, I was crying. I'm all over the place. Might want to get off that. Did you mean what you say when you wanted to spend more time out in nature? Or was that lip service too? And that's what we do as humans. We run mock scenarios, not just in make.com like we do for AI, but scenarios in our lives. When we come up with these fake scenarios, so it makes it more comfortable for us than to tell the truth to ourselves. That's what's real. When I said what's really real yesterday, I meant the truth inside, behind the lies, between the lines, and behind the words. There's some energy there. There's some strength there, like when you say, I'm going to do something, right? Do you mean what you say to yourself when you do it? When you write your goals down and you make a contract with your soul? Or do you capitulate and let yourself out and come up with an excuse? That's what we do. We look for a back door. We look for an exit. We back out on ourselves, dude. Our word is not our bond, and then we wonder why we're not balanced. Part of the 4 agreements is being impeccable with your word. If you were going to be hospitable, stay hospitable. If you were going to clean, and if you were going to give me a spot, make sure it's my spot and not ripping from underneath me. Seems to be happening. My brother's like, God damn, dude, it was the girl in Pittsburgh, then it was your mom, then it was this dude. It just seems to keep happening to you. Maybe it is me. Maybe I am the vagabond. Maybe I do need to keep couch surfing and keep it moving. But that's me having conversations with myself and keeping it real. It's not living in dystopia and unreality and leaving behind the details. We like to get faded. We want to forget, conveniently, our words. And that's the contract. That's the life contract we all have. It's the life contract we all signed. And it's the life contract that I hope we all follow. It's so beautiful out there. But, I can't force people to follow, right? I can't make the horse drink the water. That's not how these things work. That's not how life works. Life is going to throw you a puzzle and tell you to be a solver. And that's what we want to come to, a solving our issues on the inside instead of expressing them externally, is having fortitude on the inside and saying, what do I mean by these emotions? What do I mean by this situation? And that's what you're asking yourself. You're like, am I the type of person that can activate me? That's what it's all about. Oh, it's not. Damn. I control me, not the things around me controlling me. I decide what's happening from that situation. I can say, oh, I want to stay in the drama and live in the turmoil with it, or I can be the guy that has the solutions, fix the Rubik's Cube, and get out of it. It's really a choice, but most people don't want to do the math. They don't want to sit there and go, okay, I have to focus a little bit more. I have to adjust my sails instead of just going blindly into the ocean. I need to come up with a compass. I need to come up with a reason why I'm doing what I'm doing, and that's why it's the W. Showing off the W, get all this stuff out of the way. Why? The reason why you're doing something will be the only thing that moves you. And you have to be the guy that knows what the compass looks like. And the stars and the waves. Welcome to life. Welcome to sailing. But what a better thing to do than to be on an adventure in the open water? It's a pirate's life for me, that I don't know what harbor I'm going to end up in. I don't know what's the next place I'm going to be. Oh, this came down and everything. But join We Club, you know. But that's what's meant. If it's up to me, if it's meant to be, it's up to me. So if I want it to be something, I have to speak to myself, up to me, and say, hey, self, how bad do you really want the thing that you're saying you're wanting? And that's the do you say what you mean? Are you saying it just to say it, maybe to sound cool, virtue signaling, like, yeah, I'd like to help feed the homeless, or are you actually going to show up and feed the homeless? Are you actually the type of person to keep your word with yourself and say, I'm going to quit XYZ and actually quit those addictions? Most people have never ever faced their addictions. They never listed them, nor their afflictions, which is basically their emotionality or whatever trauma or triggers that they have, and then go say, okay, I'm going to work on this, right? I'm going to work on this shadow work. I'm going to quit these habits and cycles, right? I'm going to expand me instead of contract into me and try to fix it inside me. Maybe we say things to ourselves. Do we say what we mean? And we'll say, like, he just didn't love me, or I don't have enough money, or what if something else happens? We'll put mock scenarios, again, just like make.com. Can't show you this actual scenario, but I guess I'm going to show part of it, but let's see the make. Do I need to log back in? Probably. And here's a scenario right here. You can barely see it, so I can show it off. But, we're setting up apps in our brain and go, okay, if I feel this way, then I'm running to the refrigerator and I'm eating a cookie, then I get my sugar rush. Or as soon as stress comes in, I avert it and I send it to the cigarette, or I send it to the weed, or I send it to the sex, or I send it to the purchasing. And then that goes off and makes me do something else. That's a workflow. That's what we do. All of our mock scenarios and the way we actually make.com make ourselves, it's not just for AI. It's literally our own apps inside of ourselves. It's really crazy that we have things set up where we're like, if XYZ happens, then ABC happens. So it's like our triggers will define our direction. Instead of being in direction, we waiting for something to trigger us to a direction. This insistent to not being the master and commander of your ship, right? But letting the waves take you any which way will pretty much end you up on the rocks. I can easily say that. Like, if you want to be the kind of guy that ends up, what do they call it when you go up on shore and you become beached? You beach yourself. You stuck in the sand. You weren't paying attention, and now your boat's stuck. Now you can't leave the harbor, and you got to wait for a high tide or alleviate some weight from your mental stability to float up, so you're not in the shallows no more. Right? This is for the deep people, the people that want to go deeper into their psychology and their reason of why they are the way they are. Nobody really does the deep dive. We still don't really know the oceans, and that's kind of like our psychosis. Most people aren't doing I'm this way because my mom raised me this way, or my environment, or my emotions. I felt like it. It's just like, yeah, but can you make yourself feel like doing something else? I mean, that's what you mean, right? That's what you wanted, right? To be able to say, this is my goal and I'm going in this direction. This is my ship and I am sailing here. I point the compass north instead of south. I choose as above, so below. I'm the kind of guy that wants to make it work for me than against me. And no matter what the scenario is, I'm always finding or figuring out a way for it to work in my favor. Instead of saying this is happening to me, it's giving me an opportunity to see what I'm made out of, right? It's like a good competition with a good opponent. It like pushes you to be more of yourself. So not judge the thing to say, oh, well, it would be better if I had effortless life. We kept saying tough life, right? The tough life must be tough, having Mercedes-Benz pick you up. Well, it's tough being in the fucking homeless too, being in the fucking alleyways. So, we're up, we're down, we're all over the place. I know many of people that say that they feel all right, and then they don't. I also see that my YouTube videos blowing up from social media from because some guy also got arrested for in South Korean prison, and now people are watching my video and saying, "I'm wondering what's going to happen to this dude." They don't give a fuck that it happened to me 10 years ago. They're just trying to see what's going to happen to this other dude. They can't wait to jump in the drama and be curious. And not that they want to see the guy be free, but they want to see what's going to happen to him. They're so consumed by the drama that it's relaunched my fucking video. I'm on some, man, people are a trip. So those people are addicted to drama, right? They can't wait to live someone else's life and see what's happening with them instead of seeing what's happening with themselves. That's a trip. And I don't think it's a good trip that you should take, to be honest. I think you want to be the type of person that can surf inside yourself. I don't think you want to be the type of person that lets the wind blow them wherever it can, and then you're just beached again, and you're like, well, how did I end up on this beach? How come I can't sail? How come I can't fly? And it was like, well, what kind of wind power are you using? What kind of educational power do you have? Have you educated yourself how to sail yet? Did you teach yourself how to swim? Learn to swim, learn to swim. It's a Tool song, dude. It's literally lyrics on shirts, but we have to learn how to swim, especially in our own seas and harbors, and make peace with that. Make peace with those waters. Don't be the type of person that just be like, this is my case and I have to stick to it. It's like, okay, sure, these are the cards that you got dealt. Now, how are you going to play your hand? And that's more of a Vegas stand, but it is true. It's just like, something gets thrown at you. Case in point, my homie gets a printer, finds out he's the only guy in Finland without a warranty on that printer. Everybody else has the warranty. And he's like, that's me. I'm a pioneer. And I was like, that's the attitude, instead of being like, I'm the dumbass. I can't believe this is happening and this is all fucked up. Instead, he went doing his research online. He kept his composure, you know what I mean? He figured it out. That's one of the shirts that we have because you want to be the guy that figures it out instead of bitches it out. You know what I mean? Like there's a whole difference of people that are like there for it, and then there's people that are letting it happen to them. And I wanted to be people to be more directional with their energy, more with purpose. It's purpose that binds us. It's purpose that drives us. It's the thing that gets us up in the morning. And if you haven't already joined We Club, and if you already haven't gone over to Saints Addiction, and if you already haven't subscribed, then there's no action, right? I don't care. I don't move the needle at all. And it's one thing to move other people, right? When we're really stubborn and most people don't want to do any of that. It's another thing to move yourself. And this is where you got to mean what you say, and you put it in words, and you put it in contracts, and you put it down on paper and say, yeah, man, I meant what I said. I'm going to do what I say I'm going to do, and I'm going to be about it. And when you get to that level, then all of a sudden you arrive and you're just like, whoa, I can count on myself. I can count on my word. I can count on the word coming out of my soul and becoming a product, it becoming an actuality, something tangible, something that I can grab and go, yeah, man, I told you I was going to do this. I told you I was going to make a worldwide brand. I told you I was going to import and export sunglasses, Saint shades, and Saint sandals, and Saint slides. No one else has these. These are from South Korea, homie. You ain't getting these. You know what I mean? And everything that I wear is my own brand because I said I was going to do that. I said all I wanted was my own business. Now, mind you, I was a struggling student before. I was homeless when I graduated college. I'm homeless now, you know what I mean? I'm in between homes and shit, and even that doesn't stop me because I'm on the level of like, I know the universe has got me. I don't even know the solution yet, but I know there will be one. Even when Yamo be there, Yamo will have one. Yep. Yamo will have his day in the sunshine. Everything's going to be okay, and to believe it, not just to say it, but believe it. This is when you mean what you say, because now you have an opportunity that day to be like Neville Goddard says when he says, close your eyes, right? And he says, when you open it, are you still in the same scenario when you closed your eyes? Did you believe that you can change the scenario in your head, or are you still in your prison cell? And there's a lot of people that are in prison that have to figure this out every day. They're in their own head having to figure them out. It's true. A lot of people that don't know how to control their emotions, or especially guys, and control their anger, are in prison, right? They're inside a system where they were told that you could do something, break into a bank, do some stupid shit, and no meant no, when they wanted to push beyond the no. They wanted to really get to know. And it's like, do you really want to get to know? You know what I mean? Do you really want to find out? And do you really? Because if you fuck around, you will find out. You will find out about your anger. You will have to sit your. What was the special that I watched, 1,000 Miles or whatever? The guys were jogging it up inside San Quentin prison, and the dude just realized his whole life was filled with hate, and now he's transpired to make his life better for his son. His son still had a chip on his shoulder from visiting his dad since one. He was just like, now he has his chance of becoming a prisoner too is high. And that's not what his father wanted for him. He didn't want him to end up in there with the same anger issues like him in some kind of sick cycle. So this is where we go into ourselves and say, you know what, man, I don't want this to happen this way, and I mean what I say. I don't just lip service. I'm going to actually do something so that it actually happens. One of my work on things was to be like, always keep $1,000 in the bank, because I might need a lawyer, or I might need bail, or I might need to travel. That seems to be my big thing, and not spend anything less than that. I'm keeping it a cool 1,000, so I'm not in a pinch. I don't have that itch anymore on my shoulder. Like, can I afford the food? Can I afford the taxi? Can I afford the Uber? Can I afford the museum? You damn right. Nothing's stopping me. And nothing's going to stop our team too. Soon enough, it'll be 10 grand a month, and then 100,000, and then we're hitting 100 M's, because I mean what I say. And we're doing the work. So it's not like I'm going to expect it to happen. I make it happen, Captain. And that's the difference. This is the whole, I'm meaning what I say, so I can rely on me. When it happens, I can say, I did that. I said I was going to have a business. That's all that I wanted. And then I started multiple businesses. And then I said I wanted it to be around the world, so I kept bringing it around the world. And then I said I wanted to travel and not have to worry about the bills when it happens. And that's what's happening next. I don't want to ever. Those machines are so weird. I don't want to ever worry again. It's not exactly useful for me. Worrying doesn't change the outcome. But how many of us stop ourselves from worrying? Not many. I can tell you that. But that's that self-control. Oh man, I'm losing my weed. Falling out of here. Give me my weed, bitch. I'm trying to get my green on, man. At 14 euros a gram, you can't be falling. There's the one. Hold on. Yeah. And that's what it is. Finding the win inside of ourselves. Finding that willpower to say, I'm going to quit that thing, or I'm going to do that thing. And if I say it, it's going to happen. That's where it's at. There's a very powerful feeling there. It's like, I'm going to develop the day. I'm going to enjoy my time. I'm going to go outside. Some of these machines are weird. And I'm going to make my life. I'm not going to wait for it to happen. I'm not going to wait for my show to end, or the episode to stop, or, the last season, I'm going to make the new season. Only you can write the next chapter. And that's really up to me. If it's meant to be, it's up to me. Most people aren't trying to make it be. They just want it to happen. And I feel like you're missing the best element of creation, is that you can make it happen. It's no longer mission impossible. It's mission I'm possible. Mission possible is around every corner. We just have to get over the excuses. We just have to get over the fear, and we have to get over ourselves. It's not an easy thing to do, because all we do is live inside of ourselves. I mean, sure, you can live in the buildings, really. We live in our minds, and I want it to be a safe place for us to be. You know, and when we say what we mean, and we mean what we say, and you better hope I don't say it mean. You know, and I stopped saying things mean. I don't want to say things mean to myself or mean to others. If that means that I said it mean, then that means I got out of pocket, and I'm just being mean. I had to learn to not be a bully. I had to learn to not have anger. I had to learn to not transpire the feelings that I had inside me and be the guy that just let it all out. It's almost like being when you're drinking, you can't stop crying or laughing. Your emotionality is all over the place, and you know what I'm saying when you've seen someone drunk. You know, they go from jovial to miserable so fucking quick. You're just like, God damn, that's not the ride I want to be on. And that's all I'm saying. You know, I want to be on this slip slide ride. I want to be on this flow. I want to be on the side of meaning what I say and creating it and making it happen. Not on the, oh, I want it to happen. I'm on the couch and I'm watching the infomercial and there goes my idea again. I had that idea, you know? I had that idea for the LED screens in the car, making up their own emojis and messages. It's a thing now. I didn't put any effort behind it, so guess what? It's not my thing. Saints Addiction is a thing now. I put some effort behind it, so now it's my thing, right? And when you make these things your own, you're going to be the type of person to put more energy into it. When it's your baby, when it's an embryo, when you're trying to develop it, then you're going to really mean what you say. Now all of a sudden your energy matches your words, and your follow through is tremendous. You got to build the nest for the baby. You got to have safe eggs. You got to procreate. All of us are after the same things. A better life. That starts by treating ourselves better, treating others better, and cleaning up this room upstairs, bro. Stop being so hard on yourself. Me too. You know what I mean? If things happen, what's the lesson in it? You know, we're not taking losses. We're learning lessons. And over here, and we're making things happen over here. That's what we do, player. Every fucking time we choose to, we become a monster, and that's the beast that they don't want to see. They don't want to see you being the type of person to follow through. They don't want to see you living your dreams. They don't want to see you achieving. They'd rather you stay in that motherfucking hole, in that fucking cubicle, and they don't want you to leave the box. This is the channel for those that want to leave the box, bro. This is the channel for those that want to see the other side of the world, the other side of their fear, the other side of their physique, you know what I mean? The other side of their mentality. And that's exactly what I do. Every morning I do the motivation because it's what I say. You know, I didn't just, I'm going to do this show and it's going to make me motivated. I was already motivated. You know, this is that motivated juice, you know, where I'm on the sauce. The juice is worth the squeeze. And I was like, if I find the keys, I'm going to share them. You know, I'm going to make duplicates and let other people access this information and get to this level and be like, you know what? This motherfucker out there doing it. You know, he started from nothing, has nothing, and still keeps doing it. How is that possible? I'm possible. That's why. And you're possible too if you give yourself a chance and you start meaning what you say and you mind what you're saying. So that's what I'm doing every day. I'm doing what I say I'm going to do. I'm following through, and I'm putting in the energy so it happens. It's be, do, have, not have, do, be. I'm not waiting to have it. I'm not waiting to do it. I'm actually just doing it, Nike, and letting the chips fall where they may, and trusting that my universe, this sun god, and the life that I have is on the way. It's in my favor. It's ready to be developed, and I can't see it yet. But there's a blessing coming, and there's another door and another opportunity. I just got to keep my head on a swivel, not backwards. Only a fool trips over something that's behind them, but forwards, like what's meant for me. And if it's meant to be, it's up to me. So if I mean what I say, and I say what I mean, it's time to get out of my own way and get it done. If you know what I mean. So that's my morning motivation. If you got anything out of this, you already know. Like, share, subscribe below. And as always, peace and love. But I am in Finland, and it's Chigata. That means goodbye, but not forever. And I will check you later and see you on the other side, not only as soon as you like and subscribe, but the other side of your fear, the other side of your excuses, and the other side of the world, because that's where I'll be. Peace.